Okay, so this is sort of an addendum to the conversation we had today about this writing assignment, the stratification assignment, which I've pushed back to the 22nd in terms of Furstenberg, Cowan and Cowan, and Leroux. Okay, and the question has to do. The question is worded rather elaborately, but here's the point. Okay. Um, the argument that you could make for studying social class independently of race, ethnicity, and gender versus the other arguments has to do, it's a methodological argument. Okay. We were talking and moving forward today. So I did not want to hold the class up too much as I was kind of gathering my thoughts, trying to pull these together. There still seemed to be um, um, not a complete understanding. Okay. So with this in mind, okay, because social class is so uh, difficult to um, identify, um, we have to do something other than look at income alone. We have to look at the kind of work a person does, the kind of work their family did, levels of education, and so forth, right? And the only way, for example, to disentangle, like the question here, working class white child's well-being versus an African American child and parents, family processes, parent socialization, it's going to be the answer in each case. The only way you're going to be able to get at that, okay, please listen carefully and slowly. The only way you're going to be able to arrive at those points in 3 and 4 is through a process of guided, structured interviews, right? Because this is a question of socialization versus looking at a big data set. Okay. So I think that that's the way that you could disentangle those those race, social class, gender, right, ethnicity. Okay. Um, the contrasting point, how some of the other authors incorporate them together. Okay. Um, that may be the better approach if we're dealing with a large scale data set. But you're going to need to review the sections on methods and the section on what family systems theory is, rather than just throw your hands up and say, I can't figure this out. So it's a methods question. On the one hand, we could isolate, like we could interview white working class families versus African American middle class families, but it would require to get a valid measure or a true measurement. It would require the interview technique and an extended series of interviews so that we could compare the different responses. So this is kind of a follow up to today's conversation that we had. It is now the 15th of October at 8:45 p.m.